Ah yes, the gargoyle, lightly armed, lightly armored, huge engine, but nothing behind it. Is that what you think? Well, wait until you tried my Defender Gargoyle. Hi friends, I'm TTB, welcome back to Clan Engineering. Today guys, we're going to try another build for the gargoyle, and I wanted to build something that takes away the weaknesses of the mech and turns it into strengths. We're never going to be able to change the engine, so the XL400 stays. That means the tonnage is going to be limited, but what we can do is outfit the mech in a way that really benefits this chassis in total. It's going to be fast, it's going to be nimble, it's going to have a nice amount of staying power in the fight because it's using weapons that are relatively cool, but still pumping out quite a bit of damage, and it's going to be armored up the wazoo. This thing is carrying more armor than a stock direwolf. It is going to be very tanky and able to take a lot of punishment. And of course, since we have a mixture of medium pulse lasers and small lasers, the range brackets of the two are perfectly complementing each other, so we can shoot them at the same time, no problem. Plus, since all our weapons are arm mounted, that means that we can easily shoot targets on the ground and in the air without having to think twice. Guys, let's go ahead. I'll show you how to build the Defender Gargoyle, and then we'll talk about it in the training grounds as well as in the mission. Let's go. Here we are in the mech lab, guys, and as always, I'm going to show you how to build this mech. You're going to need a couple of Omnipod sets. You're going to need the Charlie Omnipod set for the right arm, and you're going to need the Alpha Omnipod set for the left arm. Everything else is optional, but these two you kind of need, and if you want a recommendation on which one to get first, I will probably go with the Charlie first and then get the Alpha, because that way you get this nice small laser fist. Now then, in order to put this mech together, for the head slot, there is no difference, so it doesn't really matter. For the center torso slot, once again, there is basically, well, there are a couple of options, but one option that I didn't choose, which is the prime center torso. Yes, it will have the capability to host a small laser for a little bit of extra damage, and you can take that if you want to, but I decided this is going to be a more defensive gargoyle, so something that can take quite a bit of punishment. Really good out there for people that don't have as much experience with mech games, can't shoot that well, or just are learning the game. So if you have friends like that, or maybe you just like to get a little bit drunk while you're gaming, then this is going to take a lot of punishment and forgive a lot of mistakes, and so for that it is designed. So we're going with the Alpha center torso because it has high armor. There is the Charlie center torso, which lists more armor, but that is of course because it already has a ferro armor pod in there, so don't be deceived by that. We're taking the Alpha CT, we're putting in 2 tons of ferro armor pod for a total of 130 front armor. That is a lot. For the side torsos, it doesn't really matter what you take here because they all have the same amount of armor. So once again, you just put in 2.5 tons this time of ferro armor pod, so 2 1 tons and a 0.5 ton. And that gets us to 116.7 side torso armor. You see where this is going, right? On the other side torso, the left torso, once again, 2 1-ton ferro armor pods and 1 0.5 ton ferro armor pod, 116 front armor. Then we have a look at the arms. The right arm is from the Gargoyle Charlie Omnipod set, and for this we are using 6 small lasers and a 1-ton ferro armor pod. That way we get the maximum amount of weapons from this, as well as the extra armor, bringing the arm up to 84. For the left arm, for this one you need the Alpha left arm, the Gargoyle Alpha left arm. We put in 4 medium pulse lasers, 1 double heatsink, and another 1-ton ferro armor pod. 84 armor, once again, on this arm as well. And then in the legs, I put 0.25 tons into each leg. If you want to, because I mean, some people might find that it is needed, you could actually add a little bit more armor to the legs right here by taking the 0.5 tons from each side torso and putting them in each leg. This is totally up to you whether you prefer to have more armor up top or more armor in the legs. My philosophy, if you get a leg shot out, your top speed goes down by 1/3. If you get a side torso blown off, your damage and cooling goes off by half. So I would armor the side torsos more than the legs, but this is totally up to you. What you could also do, of course, is just use ER smalls or ER mediums here instead of medium pulse lasers. That will give you a lot more tonnage, and you could use that to add in more heat sinks and more armor onto the legs. I will leave it up to you guys. This is just modifications of the general build. Yes, it is going to be full lasers because lasers are powerful, and for a mech like this that doesn't really have much tonnage to work with, lasers are going to be your best choice. Anything that is low weight and low maintenance. Final armor value, 806. And we could go higher. Like, you could probably get this thing almost up to 1,000, probably. 900 to 1,000. So, yeah, you can build something that is really tanky here. A little bit defensive, of course, yes, but it can still go ahead and pack a punch, and I'm going to show that to you guys. Now, if you're thinking about pilots for this thing, Jaden, with the energy range, of course, perfect as always. Yuichi, same story. Naomi, Mia, not so much because they only get heat. Alexander, somebody like Alexander with extra energy range will definitely work. Or Ezra, of course, is always going to be your best energy pilot. Now then, let's take this thing into the shooting range. And I'm going to shoot a couple of targets, so you guys can get a feel for the mech. And then we'll jump into a mission, and we'll see how it goes. And I might actually take, like last time, that last mission, and we're gonna go ahead and see how far we get and how the mech feels as we're doing so, taking on everything on our own. This gargoyle has not been skilled in terms of speed, so we only get to 81 kph. If you give this thing speed boost and everything else, you can get this thing probably up to 90 kph, which is gonna be a little bit more mobile. Now then, for the weapon groups, my recommendation is split your weapon groups up with your mouse buttons if you are playing on PC. That means mouse button 1 is going to be the left arm, mouse button 2 is going to be the right arm. Left arm shoots the medium pulses, right arm shoots the ER small lasers. Just make sure that you don't have any arms in those weapon groups, because if that happens, you shoot and punch at the same time, which will make your aim wobble around, which you don't want, of course. Now, arms, I recommend to unlock them because your arms are going to be faster at tracking stuff than your torso. As you can see, the round reticule, that's your arms, and the triangle, of course, that's your torso, and the arms are moving a lot faster than your torso. Now then, Locust, I mean, you knew this was going to be dead in one shot. That Scorpion tank, I don't think the medium pulses would kill it in one shot. Actually, they do. Perfect. So, vehicle as well. The amount of damage between those two is about equal. I don't think we will be able to kill the Centurion in one shot, but we can almost take him out. I mean, the Centurion is a rather tanky mech, so it's okay. It's a medium mech. We need 2 shots. That's fine because we're recycling very quickly. And I also want to keep an eye on our heat gauge right now. I'm going to take down the Marauder, and you guys can have a look at the heat gauge right here. Now that's 1 shot. I'm waiting for everything to recycle. 2 shots down. It's kind of funny though that this Marauder, with the standard build, seems to have less armor than the Centurion. Interesting. Well, here's the Atlas. Once again, guys, these targets are all, I think, recruit level targets. So if you go up against elites, you will take at least 1 more salvo. So yeah, the Atlas is basically down after 2.5 salvos, right? That is enough firepower, guys. That's way than enough firepower. And if I just keep shooting constantly while I'm walking, this is like the worst case scenario. Like you can see, you can get a lot of salvos out before this thing starts to get hot. So not only do you have a lot of armor, you also have a lot of heat reduction. And of course, if you use more ER smalls and get in more armor and more cooling, you could get this down even further. You could basically turn this into a hyper version of the Nova that doesn't quite do as much damage per volley, but just keeps shooting where the Nova is already cooking, right? All right, let's go ahead, jump into a mission, and I'll show you how this thing performs in an actual mission. As always, guys, spoiler warning, if you haven't played through the game yet, maybe not watch this last part, or watch it after you have seen it. Here we go. That should put us directly into contact with a couple of big targets. We're gonna play on export mode, of course. We're gonna park our guys on the sidelines and have them on hold fire. This is just us. Alright guys, here we are in the mission. The door has just opened. Let's go in and fight against whatever is around the corner. Starting, of course, with the now familiar Zeus. I'm gonna go straight for CT. I don't know if I can take him down with 2 salvos. Messed up the shot a little bit here because he headshot us right there. That should take him down. Now we take down the J. Edgar right here. Turn over towards the Crusader and his friend, who's gonna be, I think, in the air above us, which is not good for us right now. Also, the trees just blocked my shot completely. I was whiffing that shot a little bit. Still not too bad though. We'll just take the side torsos away from the Crusader. And once again, guys, these are all elite level targets, so they can take an ungodly amount of punishment. There we go. There's also the AC2 turrets right here. These are dangerous as well. And there's an Atlas currently sneaking around. By the way, there was 700 meters with the medium pulses, no problem. Or the ER smalls as well. There's still an Atlas sneaking around here somewhere. I need to take that guy out. And I'm guessing it's going to take 3 full salvos, maybe 3.5. There it is. It's hiding behind the tree. Let's get in there. It's one shot on his CT. 2. 3. Like I said, 3.5. Okay, it's done. So we just took down a heavy, 2 assaults, and some other stuff. We're at 85% of our mech. So, all in all, that's not bad. And that's without me trying to use cover or anything, just running straight for them. Just straight board charge. So, not much finesse involved right here. By the way, if you see those SLM carriers, they can be quite devastating, so make sure you don't get caught by surprise.
All threats are down.
Alright, so coming up on the next area, this should be another couple of assault mechs. And we're just checking to see how far we can get with this red. Doesn't matter if we win or lose, because this is designed for a bunch of assault mechs. And not for trying it with your own mech alone, especially not with rather short range that we've chosen to bring here. Let's see. That's the Battle Master. He just hit our arm. Didn't get his CT down yet. PPC is wreaking havoc right now with my aim. He's gonna die next shot. Now we go for the Summoner. 66%. One of my legs is open. Rest is still fine though. Summoner is down. J. Edgar is annoying us from behind. He also toes down. 62%. Once again, we're running an 80 tonner. Holy shit. Okay, this is gonna be... probably gonna be our end here. There's just so many targets. I will see. I think we're about to lose one arm. Even though we have extra armor on it. Yeah, there we go. We just lost one arm. That means we only have the ER smalls left on this side. And look how well they're targeting our arm, by the way. That is something that the AI can do. Like, it doesn't really matter if I twist away here like crazy or not. They will still be able to target that arm. And our CT is also not looking so hot right now. So this is probably where we're gonna die. But like I said, this is board charge in, 39%. I might be able to still get that Banshee if we're lucky, but let's see. Nope, didn't get the Banshee. Almost got it, but didn't quite get it. Once again, that was an 80 tonner going up against a lot of enemies and a lot of big enemies without using cover. Just board charging in also showcases the amount of cover usage that you need later on in order to not get killed. So I would say that this is a successful test. We were able to take on quite a bit of stuff on our own. We didn't get as far as with the dire whales, for example, or with the Executioner, but that thing has more armor than the Executioner, right? Just didn't have as much firepower, but that's okay. That's a nice compromise, and I think once you get your first Gargoyle, if you get this build out, you're gonna have a lot of fun with it, and of course the missions are gonna be as punishing as what you see right here. This is a final mission, and the final missions in this game are worthy of being final missions. They can be quite tough. So I would say successful test. Try out the build, let me know how it goes for you. Well, there you have it, yet another Gargoyle build, and I think this one is probably the best one so far. I'm really enjoying it, and I think this has a lot of potential for bringing you fun. And of course, it also just uses 80 tons as opposed to 95 or 100 tons for the bigger ones. So you're actually leaving some tonnage on the table, so that can be used if you're trying to rerun a mission and get a couple of challenges done, or when you're playing with friends and you want to make sure that everybody gets to play an assault mech, for example, on one of the earlier missions where you have assault mechs, but not necessarily the tonnage to run all dire whales. Try it, let me know how it goes. And of course, at this point, I would like to say thank you so much to all my amazing supporters. Guys, literally couldn't do this without them, and if you are not a supporter yet and would like to say thanks for the videos, then please have a look at the video description. You will find links to my Patreon, my merch store, all the hardware that I'm currently using that you can get on Amazon, or of course you can become a channel member or send a super thanks right here on YouTube. Thank you.